Here's how to do better with perimenopause, part 1. I already have to do a part 2 on perimenopause symptoms because as soon as I finished recording yesterday and then all last night and this morning, I was thinking of symptoms I didn't talk about. So in case you're new around here, this is still Dr. Megan, and I guide people in growing, learning, and fostering connections and curiosity. I did a video that this is stitched with on common or not so common perimenopause symptoms. And I just probably won't sleep well tonight if I don't add to the list now. So one of the big ones that I completely forgot to mention yesterday is migraines. I already have had migraines since my 20s, and they're hormonal migraines typically, but other reasons too. And I was completely floored to experience 10 to 15 day long migraines when I started perimenopause. I now have a preventative that helps, but there are so many women who've never had migraines before or really bad headaches that start to get them in perimenopause. Another really big symptom is itchy skin. So you'll just be sleeping and some part of your body will start itching like crazy. Varies where, but your skin gets drier as your hormones change. So you'll have very itchy skin. And there's also body parts falling asleep. I think usually for me, it's my arms when I'm sleeping. I mean, that happens typically for people anyway, but it's like so much more common, and to the point where it wakes you up and you might be kind of scared. Like, why are my body parts so asleep right now? I don't understand what's going on. Another one is basically like changes in your heart rate, to the point where you think like maybe you're having heart issues and you might be thinking you're having a heart attack. That could be a variety of different things. Like maybe it's a panic attack, or maybe it's something relating to anxiety. But whatever it is, there's a lot of changes that go on heart-wise too that I definitely had checked out numerous times before I knew I was in perimenopause. But there's always going to be that background playing of like, is this peri? Or am I actually dying this time kind of thing that comes up. So that's super fun too. And I feel like there were some other ones that I thought of, but that's pretty, oh, no. I can't end without talking about this. So if you're not a woman and you don't want to hear about bleeding, you might as well switch now. But the way your cycle is, it's like some months you barely bleed at all. And some months you're like, I surely have to be dying. It is not humanly possible to have this much blood coming out of my body. It is wild how that changes. And then of course, the further along you get, I'm still very early into this. So I'm not even experiencing the common things that people talk about with hot flashes and libido changes and all that kind of stuff. I'm not even to that point yet. So that makes me think I'm really in for a fun time as my hormones change. It's like even these slight shifts in my hormones are affecting so much already. But that one's not fun because you have to find whole new ways to account for that time of the month as all of that's changing too. So those are my additional common and not so common symptoms of perimenopause, and I'm sure I'll have more to add to the list at some point. I know that there's plenty that come up in the support groups I'm in on Facebook, but I just had to get those out before moving on to something else.